Hey, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things with a quick take. Libby and I worked on some cards. We did a video crafting session maybe early in October. So I've had this card floating around because I knew I wanted to video this because she had certain dies needed to make this style of card. So this is like a postage stamp style card, and we had a pin. I will try to find the pin and put it on my blog with a picture of this completed project. And so I wanted to explain how we worked around me not having postage stamp dies, or in this case, Stampin' Up! Has a punch. And so then Libby and I, neither of us had big enough dies to get this large edge. So here's what we did. Libby was able to, of course, make these small postage stamp shapes using some dies she had. It may even be that she didn't like how her dies looked, so she went with what I did, which is Stitched So Sweetly dies. They are actually a scallop, not the chopped off postage looking dies, but notice they are too long. So what you do is you cut one side, and then you pick where you want the cut off point to be, and you just tape this down on top where, like if I wanted it that short, I tape it down onto the plate so that it doesn't move, and voila, you have your two short postage stamp looking shapes. So this pretty peacock shape is actually the size of this. I think it's the one size larger. Nope, actually this was it. So for the small ones, that is how you can adjust using postage stamp somewhat scalloped looking Stitched So Sweetly dies, so that you can make your stamp size as big or small as you want. And here are all of the different sizes you have to work with. The one we used was the second to the smallest. So then, to come up with the large postage stamp look, we took this large and you tape it down. You have to, on your plate, if you have the new Stampin' Up! Die cutting machine, or I have a Cuttlebug, you have to put it at an angle such that your I believe you have to put it lengthwise. I'm going to actually get a plate for you to see. Oh, I'm going to have to go away for a minute. I don't have my plates out. We just moved, so let me go get one. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I have a well-worn plate, so it's 6 inches wide, a little bit wider. You have to lay your paper down, and then you tape, and you have to use this and shift it over for the second cut. Then you rotate, and you can do the whole end, and you can be done like I did and just leave it like this. Libby went ahead and took the last extra step, and that was she took a small guillotine cutter and she just opened it up and cut off these nibs so it had a somewhat flat look like the postage stamp. And as you can see, mine actually looks fine. Neither of these, being the scalloped or the inverse of the scallops, are exactly postage stamp looking. Then the final bit, if you already have stamps that have the postage mark on them, great. If you don't, you have to come up with some way to make the circle cancellation look to the stamp. This was done with evidently what I had to disappeared. Nope, it's right here. I used swirly frames, the smallest circle. But let's say you didn't have an actual cancellation stamp like I didn't, and you didn't have swirly frames. I would say as an alternative, you could use any kind of hard acrylic packaging material cut with your dies. I have used this for multiple things. I use it for bokeh dots with white craft, and I also use it for doing some marking. So if you had a marker, like a thin black permanent marker, you can see that you could take this circle and then the larger circle, and you could make your own cancellation looking stamp by using some circle dies and a thin marker. So that's my quick tip for the day on making a postage stamp style card. And again, I will have on my blog, there was a pin that we used to create these cards that was very cool. That was our inspiration. And that particular pin shows using the actual postage stamp punch, and then I believe that she used the same tactic that we came up with. We didn't read the article that came with it, we just used the pin and did our best to replicate it. And so Stitched So Sweetly dies are the ones with the scallops that you would need to be able to replicate this card exactly the way I have talked about today. Hopefully this is helpful to you, and thanks for watching. All of the products you've seen demonstrated today from Stampin' Up! Are available on my store at stuffandthings.com/shop, which redirects you to Stampin' Up! I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I can sell to folks in the U.S. only. Before you go, please like this video, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more card making tutorials.